welcome to this morning's fresh thought from the heart of God. It's Romans 13:11, where I would like to read a little portion from. Knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. It says significant that you are not a sleeping believer, okay? That you are not a sleeping believer. It matters how you are, matters how your state is. It's important to God that you are an awake believer, not a sleeping believer. Not sleeping to what? Let me just give you a few examples, like not asleep to the work of God going on. Okay, so even though the news will never tell you about the work of God going on in the world, it is our call to be awake to those things. So read, read missionary newsletters, hear testimonies about God's work in believers' lives, okay? Like be aware to the work of God going on around you. Know about your church and what is going on, and in prayer you can grow a lot in this. Second thing is know about the devil's work in this world. Like be aware of the devil's work. Don't sleep to that reality that he's working. I remember reading this statistic that in 2015 there were 7,100 Christians in the world who were murdered for their faith. 7,100 in 1 year, 2015. The work of the devil is going on. Open Doors or Voice of the Martyrs is are good resources to find out about persecution, for example. But there are other sites and testimonies and news you can read about. But even today, about 325 believers die each month for their faith. That's a huge number. Know about the work of the devil, even though we don't busy ourselves with this, of course, because we're busy in the work of the Lord, and that's where we're interested. But still, to know about it, to be awake to it, that this is no game, that there is a reality to it. And then also, do not be asleep to what God desires to do in your life as a believer personally, that God would have you grow perhaps in prayer these days. God would have you grow in forgiveness these days. God would have you grow in patience. God help us. God would have you grow in peace, in hospitality, and be aware, be awake to those things. What I'm saying is, this verse is saying that your state, it is not insignificant. You could say, well, I'm not an important believer. I'm living out here all alone. Nobody knows my name in Christ. Like I'm not known. I don't have great gifts. I don't have visible gifts. I'm not an apostle. I'm not a Christian teacher. I am not an evangelist. It's not important. I could be sleeping and no one would know. No, hey, wait. This verse says that knowing the time, now is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. The day when Christ is coming back is coming closer to you and to me. It doesn't matter our gifts or position or ministry. Okay, the day when you and I will stand before Christ is one day closer today than it was yesterday. That's what the verse is saying. That is a good reason to be an awake believer. Do not fall asleep. Do not get busy in your heart with stuff that is not significant. Let me just read 1 Peter 4:7. But the end of all things is at hand. It's the same meaning, but a little different. Be ye therefore sober, and watch unto prayer. Okay, it's saying be sober. Do not get burdened down. Do not get drunk with worry, for example. Like with worry, with anxiety. Do not get drunk with it. So drunk that you become that you lose your soberness in the will of God, that you lose your awareness of God's desires in your life. Do not get drunk with anger, okay, or with self-centeredness. How am I doing? How am I feeling? What is my life like today? And I get lost and I get drunk in it and I don't see anymore. But it says, be able to keep your eyes open to the realities that God has shown us in the Word of God. And I just want to encourage you, just enjoy this and stay aware to these things. And God bless you with these thoughts and give you an awake day. And I hope to see you soon again.